It is Wednesday, the 12th of February, 2025. My name is Pigeon Rose, and this is my song of the day. Today we're talking about Daft Punk again. It's been a while since we've talked about Daft Punk. Is Something About Us the only Daft Punk song we've talked about, actually? It very well might be. That's interesting. Today we're talking about the song Instant Crush from their album Random Access Memories, featuring Julian Casablancas, who is better known as the lead singer of The Strokes, although he has released a solo album, and is also in another band called The Voids, with a Z. This song wasn't the big hit off the album, because obviously the big hit off the album was Get Lucky, but I feel like this song is kind of the fans hit, if that makes sense. Like, you know, the wider world was exposed to Get Lucky, and the people who listen to Daft Punk love this song. Does that make sense? I'm not saying people aren't a true fan if they like Get Lucky or something. I'm just saying, like, it's not quite as popular as Get Lucky, but it's still like a big song among the fandom, you know what I mean? It's a really interesting one because it doesn't sound like the kind of song that Julian Casablancas would sing at all, but it's so good. The music is so good, and the lyrics are very strange but interesting. So we're gonna go listen to it now and then come back in a few minutes and talk about it. And that was Instant Crush by Daft Punk featuring Julian Casablancas. Man, I love that song. I mean, that whole album has such an interesting vibe, an interesting feel to it. Partially because Daft Punk are just a really interesting duo. Partially because Nile Rodgers was involved. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why that album is so interesting. This one has this great thing where it's just really steady the whole time. Just got a great mid-tempo groove, and I love it. And it's just so easy to just get locked into it. Great song to like walk to, keep a very specific tempo, you know. The vocals are so strange, like I said, because Julian Casablancas is most famous for being in The Strokes, and he's got this sort of voice, you know. Last night she said, almost like kind of a drunk sounding voice, very punky sort of thing, you know. And in this song, it's so heavily vocodered, and I think vocoder is really interesting to be used really well. I mean, Daft Punk are the fucking masters of it. But, like, it's so strange hearing someone like Julian Casablancas use it, because the result is that it doesn't sound anything like Julian Casablancas. If you played me this without me knowing who it was and asked me who that is, I wouldn't be able to identify him. It's so strange. But it works really well. It was the right choice, because the vocals sound great in this song, despite how weird they are. So, in terms of the song's actual, like, inspiration, it was kind of a combination of Daft Punk showing him the demo of, like, the instrumental, and he was like, this sounds really good, I would love to be involved in this. And then they gave him an idea of the kind of story they wanted to tell in the song, and Paul Williams, who's also involved in this album of all people, you know, the guy who wrote Rainbow Connection, he gave some like lyrics to Julian Casablancas as well, and he wrote them and he performed them, and he just felt it was kind of flat, so he threw away those lines and just kind of improvised over the structure. And I think it's really interesting that he did it that way. It also makes sense because the lyrics are a bit odd. It makes sense that they were improvised. It still has a great effect, and I think it's really interesting. So I guess we'll just go into lyrics, hey? I didn't want to be the one to forget. I thought of everything I'd never regret. A little time with you is all that I get. That's all we need because it's all we can take. One thing I never see the same when you're around. I don't believe in him, his lips on the ground. I want to take you to that place in the Roche, but no one gives us any time anymore. He asks me once if I'd look in on his dog. You made an offer for it, then you ran off. I got this picture of us gets in my head, and all I hear is the last thing that you said. I listened to your problems, now listen to mine. I didn't want to anymore. Oh. So, I didn't want to be the one to forget. I thought of everything I'd never regret. A little time with you is all that I get. That's all we need because it's all we can take. Very much just thinking about, like, this relationship, like, thinking about how they had a little time in it. It's like, it seems to be about a fleeting relationship, you know? In fact, Julian Casablancas suggested the title should be Summer Crush before they settled on Instant Crush. So it seems to be about, like, kind of a short-lived romance, you know? One thing I never see the same when you're around. I don't believe in him, his lips on the ground. Bit of a strange lyric, but presumably this is saying that, like, he's kind of skeptical of other people who are, you know, also flirting with this person. I want to take you to that place in the Roche. So Roche is French for rock. It's an odd, I don't know what it's specifically referring to. Someone at Genius said that it could be referring to the Roche limit, which is the distance within which a celestial body held together only by its own gravity will disintegrate due to a second celestial body's tidal forces exceeding the first body's gravitational self-attraction. I doubt it's referencing that. It's probably just referencing some place in France, because because Daft Punk are French. He asked me once if I'd look in on his dog. You made an offer for it, then you ran off. This is such a weird line. I don't know what's going on here. I think this is just him improvising. I got this picture of us gets in my head, and all I hear is the last thing that you said. So, of course, he's remembering, this relationship and this person. I listened to your problems, now listen to mine. I didn't want to anymore. Pretty self-explanatory. I will say, on Genius it says, I got this picture of us gets in my head. I don't know if that's the official lyric. It probably is. But I always hear it, because it's hard to hear the lyrics sometimes because of the vocoder. But whenever I sing this to myself, I always end up singing, I got this picture of us kissing in my head, like kissing in my head. And I think I like that line that I made up. And then the chorus is, we will never be alone again because it doesn't happen every day. Can I count on you being a friend? Can I give it up or give it away? Now I thought about what I want to say, but I never really know where to go. So I chain myself to a friend because I know it unlocks like a door. And then it repeats those lyrics again, but it ends with, so I chain myself to a friend some more again. So we will never be alone again because it doesn't happen every day. We'll never be alone again makes it sound like, they're together, so they'll never be alone. But I think it's actually saying we'll never be alone together again. We'll never be with each other again because it doesn't happen every day. Kind of counted on you being a friend. Kind of give it up or give it away. He wanted it to last longer, and now he's wondering about what he should do with his love. Should he give it up or give it to someone else? Now I thought about what I want to say, but I never really know where to go. So I chain myself to a friend because I know it unlocks like a door. Again, a strange lyric, but I think he's saying he thinks about pursuing the relationship again, but he is unsure of what that would mean. So he's kind of like sticking with a friend, maybe even dating someone else. Again, very strange lyrics. It didn't matter what they wanted to see. He thought he saw someone that looked just like me. Summer memory that just never dies. We worked too long and hard to give it no time. He sees right through me. It's so easy with lies. Cracks in the road that I would try and disguise. He runs his scissors at the seam in the wall. He cannot break it down or else he would fall. 1,000 lonely stars hiding in the cold. Take it. Oh, I don't want to sing anymore. And then there's a guitar solo. So it didn't matter what they wanted to see. He thought he saw someone that looked just like me. Sounds like he's talking about the other person who is like with the girl, although someone on Genius said that it's actually a perspective switch, like this song is being sung by the girl, which is actually interesting. I think that's very interesting. The summer memory that just never dies. We worked too long and hard to give it no time. He sees right through me. It's so easy with lies. Cracks in the road that I would try and disguise. I think the theory that this is the girl singing to the boy is infinitely more compelling. He runs his scissors at the seam in the wall. He cannot break it down or else he would fall. 1,000 lonely stars hiding in the cold. Take it. Oh, I don't want to sing anymore. I mean, just talking about she kind of returns his feelings. This is from her perspective. And that whole 1,000 lonely stars hiding in the cold is such an interesting lyric there. And then the rest of the song is just pre-chorus again, and then the chorus, and then I don't understand, don't get upset, I'm not with you, we're swimming around, it's all I do when I'm with you. I don't understand, don't get upset, I'm not with you. Sounds like it's not understanding the impact of the crush, I guess. Again, this song is hard to understand. Like it's like a Bon Iver song where I get the vibe of the song but not necessarily the words of the lyrics. So the rest of the song is just repeating the chorus again. Anyway, really like this song for the vibes. The lyrics are weird, but I get them at the same time. There's a music video as well with two wax figures in a museum who keep trying to look at each other, and one of the wax figures looks like Julian Casablancas. It's very sad, of course, and really like crisp video quality also. And I think that's pretty much going to be it for today. So thank you so much for listening. Please hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment down below, tell me what you think. Tell other people about this show. Thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you tomorrow.
Break it down.